What's up, guys? It's your boy Yaron, and you're listening or watching the Yaron Show, the Game Changer. So, I haven't been on for a really long time, but the reasoning of why is because I am now working. Before I was working, I had COVID, so there was a lot of things going on, and lately I've just really been into the schedule of working and all that stuff. So it's been a couple of weeks, but overall everything is good. I'm going to be talking about my daily routine on a job base for the last couple of weeks, getting back to where I used to work the JCC, which, as you could see on my hand, it's like literally right over here, because that's the place where I really got to be known, and where people actually, with all due respect, but I really do mean this, because usually I like to get it out there, but people really do give a shit, excuse my language, about people like myself and others, no matter what you were born with. And I think it really hits me, because I think that's how society should be. Many people like myself and others who have different symptoms should be having opportunities like these. And when I got the call from my services and they told me, my parents, that I can work, I think that was the best news that I've ever got, because it was when I had COVID, it just ended. I think it was like 2 weeks before, before I even started working, and that's when we got the call. They were like, you're now working. Just we'll wait until this and this and that, and next thing you know, we got the call, and they said, JCC said, whenever you want to work, come along. And I just said, I'm coming all in. I'm coming 5 days a week. I'm busting my ass, and I'm gonna enjoy every single moment of it. That's what I'm gonna do. And I am. Every single day I do different tasks. Different staff members. They tell me who am I gonna work with, and it's hard, because at the same time you think to yourself, okay, well, Yaron, how do you work and all that stuff, and you told us that you have a big ass schedule, and you come back home and you deal with physical therapy and all that stuff from episode 1. But it is kind of complicated, but you have to take into consideration that when you do have a huge schedule, you have to prioritize it and deal with the fact that you have to change it. That's what I did. Now, in terms of work, when I do work in different, job skills, there are some moments where I do have staring seizures. So it probably happens like every 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or sometimes I'll look around the room, and while I'm doing my task, I need to be distracted in order for me to work. But then someone will tell me to work, which I really find it helpful, because when you find yourself working and you need that extra boost, that's how it's gonna be. Because listen, for me to work, it's gonna be hard, but I need that extra boost. I need that, you're awake, let's get back to work. Stop looking around, and let's bust your ass, please. So, but it's fun. It's fun to go back to work and to bust my ass. One day I'm doing coupons or filings, or working in their cafes, and all those things. So they really do rely on me, and also like I'm doing a couple of projects for them, so it's kind of an opportunity that I really could work on, and to give myself a boost on my resume. So I'm really proud of that. When I didn't work, before I didn't work, I just didn't know what to do. I used to go to my local friendship circle, and I tried as much to volunteer, and to volunteer so hard, but it's hard because you have a combination of people who are highly functioned and people who are not, and it's hard to how do you say it? It's hard to make it part like not part equal, but it's hard to like know the person's weakness and strengths. So like a person like myself, I could do a project, or I could do a PowerPoint, or an iMovie, or heck, I'm doing this right now. So I could do millions of things. I can even make a slideshow, or whatever you ask me to do. I could do it in less than a minute, or in days that you tell me this is the due date, it needs to be done by here. And I did it with friendship circle, but my local friendship circle didn't take it as seriously as possible, because of course when you are in your local town, and they have like, when you're in your local, if you're Jewish, but when you're in your local friendship circle, they have a lot of things on their plate. So they give different opportunities to people who are in charge. They want things to be done so fast, and it's kind of like, I understand that, and there's nothing that I could do, but it is what it is. Was I frustrated at the time that I said, what, they don't deserve it, this and that? I was frustrated. I said they don't deserve it. I was kind of like all over the place. But then I thought to myself, why am I dwelling? Why am I dwelling on dumb shit that I shouldn't be dwelling on? That's their problem. If they need my help, they'll get my help. If they don't need my help, then they're not going to get my help. That's their problem. So I shouldn't be dwelling and saying, oh, I did this, and I... Like, there's a good old saying from Gary Vee, and he says, dwelling and pondering isn't going to do shit. It's not going to do shit. You're just going to have to deal with the consequences that are given to you. That's it. That's it. You're going to have to deal with the things that are given to you. And when you do it, you do it. Like, if I dwell more on, my local friendship circle and how I'm trying to help them, but they're not acknowledging, the appreciation that I'm helping them with, like movies that I did in the past or something like that. What is that gonna help me? I gotta be happy, and if I go there and have a good time with my friends, that's all that matters. I've done a couple of projects with my local friendship circle where they had a couple of months where they had to focus on a lot of shit on their plate, and they were kind of like all over the place. And next thing you know, 2 months later, I find my my iMovie on a WhatsApp, and it kind of like I kind of fueled up, and I was kind of like, this is not fair, this, but yet again, it was kind of like what I just said a couple of seconds ago. Dwelling and pondering isn't going to do shit. Now here I am. Fast forward to maybe 2 months later. I'm on fire. I'm on fire, man. I'm doing coupons. I'm going to cafes if they need me. I'm doing filing. I'm starting 2 projects that they need my help to do. I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
It's 4 o'clock.
That was my computer if you didn't listen. But it is 4 o'clock by the time that I'm recording, so which is a Saturday. Back to what I was saying. So when the JCC need me, when the JCC needs me, I'm right there. When a person is out, sick or not there, I'm there. I'm like, hello, hi, you need me today? Okay, I'm here. Let's go. You need me? I volunteer. You don't need me? You want me to be there? Okay, I'm going there. I'm not gonna dwell and be like, or not dwell, but what's another word? I'm not gonna say no to anything. I'm not gonna say no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Because the more that I say no, it's kind of like, what else am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to say, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Like, I remember when I first worked at the JCC, I was kind of like, why am I doing coupons? Like, the very first time that I worked at the JCC, it was like, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm at the JCC. Everyone knows me. I'm having a good time. And I'm making conversation. I'm socializing and I'm multitasking. And I'm having a good time. Like, yes, I might have days where I'm like, ugh, I don't want to do this. And I feel like shit. But then other days I'm like, you know what? Today was a good day. Like, you know the song of Ice Cube where the song is, it's a good day? That's what it's like. You know? If you've never heard that song, by the way, search it up. It's an awesome song. But that's what it feels like, you know? And whenever I do go to the JCC, I've got to tell you something. It's like happy days. Like, I don't know, you know, if you're like an old, you know, I don't want to say an old guy, but if you like to watch old school TV shows from like the, what was it, 70s, 80s, 90s, there was like, there's these shows called like Happy Days and all those stuff. And if you know, watch it on like one of those like TV channels or something like that, I think it's called MeTV, you know, the intro to Happy Days is basically everyone knows your name. Whenever I go to the JCC, everyone knows my name. Some people, not a lot, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I think I'm there like 5 hours. I'm not sure how to do math. To be honest with you, I don't know how to do math. But I'm there from like 9 o'clock to maybe 2 o'clock. Sometimes I'm even there on Tuesdays from like 9 to 6 or even 7 because someone is picking me up. I just have an amazing time. To be honest with you, I have never felt this happy in my entire life. Now, in terms of scheduling, when you have like occupational therapy and physical therapy and speech therapy, you know, in your personal life that you have to attend to, for myself, it's at home. It gets hard because now you have everything on your schedule, you don't know what to do, you set it up and you're like, what do I do? What you know, do I have this on this day? Do I have this on that day? And it just, you get so much stressed out. And that's the hard part about when you have a job. Now for me, it's considered as a job, but I'm not so sure how to explain it. Because it's called a program without walls, so I don't know how to explain the whole process. You could search it up on Google. That's your best. That's your best. Q&A question if you're asking me what is it. But when you have something in your personal life and you don't know how to combine it with your job, or not job, but when you go to a program, which is kind of like a job. So basically, I'm working and it's like a job, but in a program. So again, Google I don't know how to explain it, but when you have a job or a program that you go to and you have your personal life, you have to think to yourself, okay, what do I do now? I can't do it. I can't have speech on this I can't have speech on that time, and I can't have OT on this time, and I can't have PT on this time. What do I do? I'm so stressed out. What the fuck? And you gotta sit down and think about it. Maybe this day they could come. Maybe that day they can come. Maybe your afternoon schedule when you're going to places like, example for me, when I go to my local friendship circle, it starts at 6, but then, OT wants to come at 5, and it starts, let's say, 5:30. The friendship circle, my local friendship. Let's say, I'm making as an example. What do I do? Am I just gonna be like, fuck, I don't know what to do, I'm dwelling upon... No, I'm not gonna do that. That would just be... It would be absolutely BS. I can't dwell in... Listen, I could, but that's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help me and who I am, in a way. I could dwell, and I could whine and be angry, but it's not gonna help me. Yes, I do dwell and ponder, and I get frustrated, and I swear a lot. You guys experience it a lot of times because I do it on Nick's Take, I do it on my live streams, sometimes I'll even do it on my vlog episodes. So it really depends, because here's the thing, and this is probably going to be off topic, but whenever I do this, I keep it R-rated because no one is telling me what to do. Now, here's the thing. You also have to be careful with YouTube because of copyrights and all that stuff. So when I get too hyper, I use videos that I'm not supposed to be using. So for an example, let's say if I use a 25-second clip of, the Knicks, and I'm so hyper, and, I'm doing all those stuff. I could get strike down. So I could be frustrated and I could be pissed and all that stuff. But that's the way it is, Now, that's not the whole point about what I'm talking about. When I'm doing this, I'm not being told what to do. Unless if I think and I ask questions to different YouTubers and ask them, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do I? And I'm doing that. But I have to learn because I'm young, and I'm turning 25 soon, and it's taking me time to learn how to do different things. So, I'm still in that learning process of doing this is fun, but there's some pros and cons, because making YouTube videos or doing a podcast, you could get strike down. You could end up in a bad situation where it's kind of like you can't post that. You can't do this. And that could fuel me up, and it could be so annoying. Heck, sometimes when I do my job, it could interfere, and I don't want to be in that situation of that. But I also find myself, when I do this in a safer way, like right now, I'm doing this because here's the thing. I am not... How do I explain it? I'm not being told by anyone from my work of what not to put in, what to put. But there comes a time where people could search you up and they could be like, you work for us now. We found you on social media saying, you know, this, that, and it brings me to a point where it's kind of like, I remember RJ Mitty, who was in Breaking Bad, also has cerebral palsy and all that stuff. I think I mentioned him in episode 1. He told, you know, he had a full address, and I think it was like Oxford University or something like that. I'm not so sure. Probably I'll link it down below the video or something like that, or maybe not. But he did mention that he had a close friend of his who went for a job opportunity. He went in for the interview. It went good. A couple of weeks later, they called him back and said, we want to meet you in person. And they told RJ's friend, we don't want you because this is how people are going to perceive you. So they take out a stack of images of social media, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and according to what RJ said, it was kind of like a booklet like this. They give it to RJ's friend, and they said, and he flips through the books of like images of like what he wrote, pictures, anything that you could think about, and it could affect your job. And to me, it's kind of like, wow, shit. Like, this is a moment where it's kind of like, oh shit, I gotta really fucking be careful. Even the words that I use right now, it's kind of like you really, really have to be careful. Because it could really screw up your thing, your job. So like, you know, my last job, I don't really bring it up as much because I don't want to get myself in trouble. And it brings me to the same thing. Even if I said something bad about the place that I love to go, and I had a bad day and I just said it on this podcast, I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to get anyone else in trouble. So I'm trying to do things in a way where even if I swear or something like that, it's not going job related or something like that. I want to keep it as close as PG. But let's say if it's about myself or people, you know, who are like myself, or other people who are like myself but who have different disabilities, but feel like they also need to hear, you know, a person like myself swear. I mean, I'm not saying this is the right platform, but I'm saying that maybe they could hear it from me, whether you like the parts where I swear or not. But that's who I am. When I'm at work, I'm this mellow guy who doesn't swear, who doesn't really talk, and I'm just shy, you know? Sometimes I could be as goofy as much, but I don't want to be too goofy to the moment where I'm kind of like, whoa, let's go, this and that, whoa. Sometimes that's me, but sometimes I have to be like, Yaron, you gotta fucking calm down. You're working here. You're working at your favorite place. Keep it down, man. And it could be cringy in some ways, but in other ways, when I'm at home, when I'm here in my own room, where I call it my room and my studio, I could do whatever I want. Now, like I said before, this could also affect my job if I say something bad about the place that I go to. whether it's my program, whether it's my job. So I try to keep it very PGR. You know, the R is silent because you don't want to mention the place's name. And I'll tell you a little something. If you guys heard on episode 1, I mentioned so much about Friendship Circle that there was a downfall. And I remember someone told me that you should have said that. You should have said that. Now, of course, maybe there's going to be a couple of people listening to it, and I didn't know about this. Because maybe they could be listening to me and be like, this guy who goes to his local friendship circle, he doesn't like the things that we do. That could get me in huge trouble. And I learned that, and I was kind of like, oh shit, this could really get me in big trouble. Big trouble. The big picture is, by the time that you work or go to programs, whether it's in your local town or whether it's in a community center, if you're working or just having fun in an organization, which is a big one, or maybe even a bigger one that you're really working in, like a program that you go to, you gotta be careful. Not like you really gotta be careful. Once you work for them, they can see you. So when I came back to the JCC, the first thing that I couldn't really say the last 2 weeks was, I have my own YouTube channel. So now there, I was kind of like, great, like, you know, everyone's talking about their interest and what they love to do and all that stuff, and what are you doing on the weekends? And at one point I was kind of like, nothing much, you know, just hanging around, probably do this and do that. But then there was one point where I had to be honest and be like, Yaron, they're going to ask you again. You got to be realistic with your answers. So I had to be honest. I couldn't lie, and it's not me anymore because I don't want to lie. I had to be honest, and I had to say, I have my own YouTube channel. That's it. Search me up. If there's any problems or situations that you find offensive, I'll take it down, and I'll do it all over again. You know? Maybe it could happen right now, right after I post this to YouTube or Spotify. Maybe there'll be a moment where they'll be like, we heard your podcast, we liked what you heard, but you gotta take it down. That's how life works. Social media and being on YouTube, it could be fun sometimes, like making content and all that stuff, but you also have to learn about the cons. There's a lot of cons in being on social media. Just saying. But in all that, I'm having a good time working at my my local JCC, you know, in Long Island, and yeah, I'm happy to be back at the JCC. You know, it's just fun. Like, even though there's some days where I'm like, oh, it's just too much fun. And I really do appreciate it. I appreciate, you know, the people who give me opportunity after opportunity, and I appreciate the staff members that help me and keep me motivated and keep me learning about different things that I never knew. From being at the JCC 6 years ago, something like that, 2017. Ever since I started at the JCC, 2017, 2016, until now. Damn it, I feel much more appreciated than how I did when I started. Because when I started, I was like, I'm the unknown. And now everyone knows my name. Now everyone is kind of like, hey, Yaron, how you doing, this and that. And it feels so welcoming to come into those doors and be like, now everyone knows my name. Like, I started this program less than 2 weeks ago, and everyone is like, welcome back. It was such a long time, this and that and this and that. What's your name? Nice to meet you, this and that. And now everyone knows my name less than 2 weeks. You barely find that in some other places. It could, like, you know, there's some days where it could be like, how do you say your name? Like, at the end of the day, I don't really care. But if you really want to get it pronounced it right, it's Yaron. Some people, they just call me the way that they are comfortable calling me. So like when I go to Knicks parties, or like, you know, Knicks parties, they just call me Yaron, because, you know, that's how they like calling me. And you know what, it's comfortable for them and it's comfortable for me, because, you know, I kind of like it. You know, it's kind of like they don't know how to 100% pronounce it, but it gives me that good vibe of like, you know what, at least I'm being known. Like, you know, not really known, but, you know, yeah. Like, if you search me up on some of these, you know, YouTube channels of Knicks content creators, you'll see me. Like, not so much, but in some channels. So, you know, but the Knicks content creators are not a part of that right now. It's mostly about coming back to the JCC and working there 5 days a week, and just, you know, getting opportunities that I usually don't really ask for. Like, I'm not a person, whenever I work, I'm not like, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? I'm very mellow, and I don't even talk as much whenever I go back to work at a place that I've known for quite a long time. So, you know, it's kind of like, that's what I'm used to. Like, I recently got told from the person who's in charge of, you know, this program, and she was kind of like, do you mind helping me do 2 projects? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, already? Like, this is my 2nd week being back, and in my mind I was kind of like, this is a good opportunity, because I didn't ask for it, but it was good that I got an opportunity to help the program to do 2 projects, you know. So it was kind of like, thank you. And the staff members are the best. The person who's in charge of it is the best. I'm just so thankful. Like, even when my parents had my back, and, you know, when everything was on the process of me working, you know, and just staying home and being like so icked out, it was kind of like, oh, when am I going back? Here I am now. I'm like, thank God I'm back. But yeah, that's really about it. I'm not gonna keep on going and going, but that's really about it. You know. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy your day, your night, whether you're sleeping, listening, reading, writing, you know, driving in your car to work, or visiting your family. I know that soon it's going to be, you know, very hot outside, and summer's getting along, so enjoy the heat, you know, and yeah. Also, if you're watching, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share it. Also, if you don't want to subscribe to the whole entire channel and just this portion of the channel, click on the Game Changer playlist and click on the bell, so that way you get every single video notified. In terms of Spotify, just follow me, and that's pretty much about it. You'll be getting both videos, so whether it's Nick's Take, the Game Changer, all of those will be combined into one. I just don't really have any time to make two different separate, podcast channels, whatever you call it. But yeah, anyways, guys, enjoy your day, your night. Whether you're resting, whether you're doing homework or something like that. I know it's the end of the year for some of you guys, college students or something like that. And yeah, if if you have anything that you want to say or be a part of the show, just let me know. And yeah, but anyways, guys, hope you are enjoying your day, your night, and peace. What's up, guys? It's your boy Yaron. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and also make sure to check out some of my other videos. Anyways, guys, peace.